Yo, what's up, everybody? There we go. We are live in my worst Bruce Buffer impersonation. How's everybody doing today? Friday, motherfuckers. You know what Friday means? Friday means it's time for the entitled athlete story. This is a new series that we're going to have some fun with, and I share stories of things I've seen in my 20 plus years as a professional coach, working with some of the world's greatest athletes and Hollywood celebrities and heads of state. And during that time, I've run across one or two individuals that act pretty damn ridiculous. A moment of weakness, if you will, or just straight up dickhead. But I'm going to share some of these stories. Now, of course, I'm never ever going to share the name of the individual. I'm never going to share the deeper specifics. I'm never going to share anything in a manner that would be identifiable. I might use a little poetic license and throw slightly misleading information just to make sure that the person involved is not known. And also, I would never share anything that wasn't public or publicly viewed. I'm just bringing to light stories that might have passed away 11 years ago from the media, and the new media doesn't even know they existed because the new media really doesn't have any connection to where we came from in the sport. But that being said, let me take a sip of cold brew right now. So delicious. So, many years ago, in a galaxy far, far away, Uncle Mike was a busy little bee running around the world helping athletes get ready for world class competition. During the years of the late 2000s, so 2008 or so, 2007 through 2014, I was on the road constantly working with athletes, hired by athletes, brought in by athletes as a specialist. If you ever seen Pulp Fiction, if you've seen Pulp Fiction, you know the Harvey Keitel character, the wolf. I am the wolf. Teams and athletes and management systems would bring me in to do the dirty work and clean up the mess and get this unresponsive, unmotivated athlete back into gear to fulfill their world-class potential. So I was typically brought in by some of the best teams for the best athletes and some of the biggest fights. Well, during one of these times, I was working with an athlete in camp, a long camp away from my home, an 8 week camp away from my home, my family, in a destination that was far away. So it's not like I could visit on weekends. I actually didn't see my family for the entire 8 weeks I was gone, dedicated to this athlete and helping this athlete achieve their dreams. And all things being even, this athlete is a good person, and they were a good person at that time, and they continue to be a good person. But this incident was one of many incidents that were similar. And it was simply as a result of the athlete's inability to handle stress. And this is when it happens a lot. In stressful situations, people act like assholes. So this one particular athlete was preparing for a very big fight in their career. Might not have been the biggest fight in the world for the UFC, maybe it was, but it was a big fight nonetheless for this athlete. And it was a heavily promoted fight. And this athlete was going to be doing a lot of media in relation to this fight. There was lots of strings attached to this fight, but also there was lots of money, biggest payday of the athlete's career at that time. They've gone on to make bigger paydays for sure, but it was a big deal. And this is long ago enough that this was a very big deal, very big deal. New media was coming into play. as compared to now, it's the bidding war between the Foxes and the Showtimes and the ESPNs and the Disney network. This was earlier, big deal nonetheless. So we're in the middle of training camp, 5, 6 weeks out from the fight. And a lot of the media has been ebbing and flowing, usually once or twice a week. Even during camp, there was media to do, television shows and radio interviews, and shooting shorts for post production to be played during the actual live pay-per-view event itself to promote upcoming movies coming out or these other things. So it was one of these deeper relationships. And we get done training. It was a Saturday. I remember distinctly. It was a Saturday. Saturdays, we do one training session, a lighter training session, and easier, pad work, a little bit of running, jump rope, things like that, maybe strength and conditioning. But the sparring was typically always on Friday night. So Saturday was a down day. And I'm sure the athlete was tired and sore and all the stuff that athletes go through, because that's a part of the job. That's a part of the job. People do it for free, let alone for all the money this athlete was going to be making from this event. So on this day, it was predetermined by the manager, of course, that the athlete would come home and there would be camera crews setting up in his place of residence. He rented a little house for us, for the team, some members of the team anyway, but we were all in the same area. I happened to be staying in the same house as the athlete, as was the manager and a couple training partners. It was a good energy, of course, good people, good times. Um, but the camera crew's there, and we do the thing, we do the meal, and the athlete's just like dragging his way, moping around the house with like an attitude, just really passive aggressive, surly attitude. And the camera crew and the director and the production assistants are all there, and they're happy to be there. They're doing their job. They're working, right? They're working. They're here fucking working in their morning on a Saturday. They're here setting up lights and cameras and doing all the things and the audio and all the running the cables and all the stuff that they're doing. A higher level production team, but humans nonetheless, ranging from early 20s into about mid 50s or so. 6 people on this crew, all cool people. I'm making coffee, made coffee for everybody, just chitting and chatting, and everybody's there. We're all working, we're all doing a job, right? It's all production in many ways. We're all doing our job. And the athlete's just like mopey and like just kind of a dickhead and making it uncomfortable and just kind of changing the energy in the room, making it uncomfortable for everybody. And it's getting time now. The athlete's eaten, kind of relaxed, went upstairs, shower, and just like dragged his ass. So probably like 2 hours have gone by since we've been home, and the camera crew's been done. They're set up. They were pretty much ready to go within 15 minutes of us walking in the door. And that was really just blocking, lighting, and little cues, little things like that, getting sound, room sound, and such. So finally, the director's like, okay, so are we ready? And the athlete was like, no, I just got home. I need to relax a little bit. And they're like, okay, like, all right, well, just tell us when. And the manager was like, oh, okay, yeah, not long, not long. We're just gonna go and just go sit and talk about training in the other room. So we go in the front room, just a couple of us, and we sit there, and it was nothing was said at all. Athlete sits down with an attitude, grabs the television controller, and just turns on the TV. So the 3 or 4 of us on the team, we're sitting in the room, like, okay. And the manager finally says, hey, Matt, what time do you want to get going? It's only going to be about 15 minutes or so. They just need you to say a couple things. It's going to be really easy. Just about 15 minutes or so. And then we can go back to relaxing all day, get them out of here. And he was like, yeah, just give me a couple minutes, wait till the end of the show. And it was like 10 minutes left in the show. I was like, all right, cool, about 10 minutes, cool, 10 minutes. So a manager gets up and leaves, another training partner gets up and leaves. I'm just kind of there, just watching the show, whatever, not thinking too much about it. Glad that it's like, all right, it's all moving forward and it's more comfortable. And about 10 minutes come by, and the manager comes in and he's like, hey, okay, like they're ready for you. And he looks up, he's like, okay, and just gets like more comfortable on the couch and tucks himself in. turns the channel, and a new show's starting. Gets all tucked in and hunkered in to watch the show. Couple minutes go by. Manager comes back and he's like, "Hey, like, you ready to go?" And he's like, "A couple minutes." I said a couple minutes. Manager's like, "Okay." Walks away. Like, we look like, wow, this is getting uncomfortable again. And I hear a little bit of conversation because I'm sitting by the door, little bits of conversation in the kitchen. And you could tell that the crew now is there for what, 3, 4 hours set up, ready to go. I mean, they're ready to go for 3 hours now to get 15 minutes of footage that's really pre-recorded, pre-scripted, just pretty easy stuff. Um, and the athlete's just dragging it through, laying on the couch, watching television. So then the director comes walking in, good energy, like trying to like get this thing going. It's his crew, and he's paying people, right? He's paying everybody there shit, $50, $500 an hour, depending on what their specialty is. He's burning through probably a couple grand an hour just sitting around. I'm assuming big production, right? So he comes in. He's like, "Hey, we're all set for you. We're all ready for you. Like, is there anything you need? Ready to go. You just want to get the sound and get you set, and we're ready." And he looks up. He's like, "Okay." Dead silence. Uncomfortable, right? That's uncomfortable. That's uncomfortable. And the director's just like, "Okay," and walks out of the room. And this is where it gets terrible. Like, everything up to that point was just being a little bratty. I would let this pass, and it probably wouldn't even have stood out in my mind if it ended there, and then a couple minutes later or an hour later the athlete finally got up and walked in the room. I wouldn't even remember it. Lord knows things like that happen all the time. But another 15 or so minutes go by. And one of the production assistants that was probably sent or brave enough after being requested to be sent comes walking into the room and says, "Mr. So and so, his last name, um, we're ready for you." And Mr. So and so athlete sits up and slams his arm on the table. Boom. And he looks at this kid and goes, "I'm watching my cartoons." And he like laid back down and got all like nestled into the couch and just stared at the cartoons. I was dumbfounded, beside myself, so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed for Mr. So and so embarrassed. And this poor young man, hardworking kid, was doing his job, did his job quietly, hardworking. We know these people, hardworking kid, good kid, respectfully. I'm 42, he's probably 22 at the time. Um, Hardworking, good energy, nothing bad, clean, well kept, like appropriate professional. "I'm watching my cartoons." He scowls it and screams it at this poor young kid who just stands there and like, and he like kind of like smiles because he doesn't know, like, is this a joke? Am I being punked? Like, I'm really nervous right now. I don't know the response. And just kind of stands there, and then Mr. So and so just kind of like gets tucked back in to the couch. So I get up. I say, "Okay." I said, "Thank you." I said, "We'll be right there." And he's like, "Okay." And he just like walks out, leaves, and I shut the door over again. And I just sit there quietly. And now I'm like, what do I say to this motherfucker? What do I say to this person? Like, number one, that is inappropriate, dude. Like, who do you think you are to speak so disrespectfully to this hardworking kid? This young man's here doing his job. He's fucking working. You think he wants to be here right now doing this, watching you lay on the fucking couch and watch cartoons? You think he wants to be standing around the kitchen for 3 hours waiting for you to come in so he can wrap up, pack up, and make the couple-hour drive back home to go and see his girlfriend or his family for 2 hours before he goes to bed on a Saturday? That's what I'm thinking. Just quiet. We're sitting there in quiet. And it goes to commercial. And I said, how is it appropriate, bro? And he's like, my fucking show's on. I haven't seen this. I haven't seen this cartoon since I was a kid. I know, I get it. And you're working hard. I know, man. We had a great week. You fucking worked hard. You're killing it. You're crushing it. You're working hard. You're sore. You're tired. You're just sick of watching tape. You're just sick of the process already. I get it. But it's still inappropriate. What the fuck did that kid do? I said, you've been a dickhead since everybody came, since we got home, you've been a dickhead. You're great in training. As soon as we got to the house, you put on this act and you've been a dickhead the whole fucking time, making everybody uncomfortable. Everybody uncomfortable. I said, now who are these people? These people, they're gonna go back, they're gonna talk about what a dickhead you were. I'm watching my cartoons. And he just like stops and he's like, well, he laughed. I was like, no, it wasn't funny. He didn't take it as funny. He scared the shit out of him. Um, you know, I said, it's you, dude. It's your life, man. It's your reputation. It's your fight. It's your job. It's you. I said, dude, do your thing. I said, but these people, they're here. They're working just like you're working, man. So you're laying on the couch and they're standing in the fucking kitchen working. You saw all this shit because they put up a lot of stuff. There's a high level, right? All the work they had to do to put up all this stuff. And it's raining outside. It's raining outside. I said, raining outside. It's cold. It's crappy on a Saturday. You get to here lay and watch, your cartoons. I said, they probably got kids. Some of them want to be laying with their kids watching cartoons. And that's why you're mad because you're not with yours. I get it. I get it. But fuck. So that's kind of the tone of the conversation that we had. And, he just kind of laid there quietly for a couple minutes, went to commercial again, I think to kind of prove his point because I wasn't telling him what to do. I was just being a buddy. I wasn't being a coach. I was just being a buddy. Dude, like, what are you doing, man? And I hope my buddies and friends talk to me like that too. And I appreciate that. And you guys speak to me like that too, please. I appreciate it. We all gotta be checked. And he gets up, doesn't say a word to me, doesn't even look at me, just walks out and starts joking around, breaks the tension, sits down, does a great job, takes less than 10 minutes, really. Comes back in and just, the day goes on normally. But entitled athlete story, there you go. That's another one. Can you imagine the crescendo to the boom, I'm watching my cartoons, screams at this poor kid. And it was real. You're like, because he had enough. He had enough. Whatever was going on, and it happens. And the moral of this story is don't act like a dickhead in the middle of a stressful situation. You got to check yourself and be aware of yourself. Don't be Mr. or Mrs. So and so in stressful situations. And we all go through that. We all go through it. And like I said, this is a good person, and they've maintained the ability to be a good person years and years later. But they've had some of these instances, which entitled athlete story. All right, so I'm going to answer some questions now and then going to jump out. Roman, what's up, Roman? Good to see you, man. I want that shirt. Go to onnit.com/Dolce. Get this camo green and black Onnit shirt. It is awesome. Look how buff I look. Oh my God, the podcast audience can't see this level of buffness in the Onnit shirt. They can't quite see it, but they can feel it. Flexing the bicep of truth right there. Carlos Ruiz, have a good weekend, Dolce. You got it, my man. Werber, hey, Mike, if I stop losing weight on 3 weeks of shredded, does it mean I have problems with my hormones, losing body fat everywhere else besides belly? No, so you say you're losing body fat everywhere, but you're not losing weight. That's not a bad thing. That's the goal. The goal is to actually gain weight while losing body fat. That's the goal. So if you're following 3 weeks to shredded, the goal is to sustain and preserve as much muscle mass as possible, and in some even build muscle mass while lowering total body weight, really with preference to non-functional body mass, which is body fat, subcutaneous and visceral, but also inflammation and water retention. So depending on where you are, Werber, it sounds like, you're doing great. Losing body fat everywhere except the belly, and the belly's the last to go. First on, last off. Blimey, I haven't worked out in years. How do I start? I do notice that my legs are relatively weaker. Blimey, go to thedolcediet.com right now. Join our 12-week 3 weeks to Shredded and Living Lean program, our 12-week membership program. It is a diet and exercise program. Everything you need is there. It's personalized for you. It teaches you everything. It shows you everything. It details everything. You just follow along. Every meal, every recipe, every ingredient is listed for you every day for you. You look at your phone or your laptop or your tablet, it's all right there in today's dashboard. Also, exercise program. We build you a specific exercise program based upon your goals and your ability. Inside that system, every exercise, every set, every rep with video tutorials. You just click on the exercise and you see exactly what it is. Myself and one of our athletes or fitness models teaching you how to do the exercise, and it walks you right through. From there, you're going to be a purple belt in health and fitness. You're going to know what to do, how to feed, how to train your body, so you won't need to continue, hopefully, with any of these programs anymore. Ours is an educational process. We teach you over the 4 weeks or the 12 weeks exactly how to feed your body, exactly how to train your body, exactly how to take care of your body and live your life in a manner that it becomes effortless to be healthy and fit. So that by far is um my suggestion to you. Blimey, just go to thedolcediet.com and get started. That's it. Simple. Anthony Glaze, good morning, Mike. Did what you said and got my friend rested and in the right mindset and the intention. He won his 4-man carry and made it to 308 feet. There we go. So last week, Anthony said, "Hey man, I'm training this athlete. They're getting ready for this 4-man carry, which I don't know exactly. It might be a firefighter, I think, but it's a competition, very physical competition, and having a little trouble in training, as I believe. So our suggestion was deload, back off, stop training so hard, relax the last week, deload, ease up, take a nap, sit down, relax, don't carry anything heavy." And here it is. He comes back, feels amazing, crushes it, wins, and hits a record. Dennis, yeah, it's me. What's up, Dennis? What's up, my friend? What do you know about the bad dreams Joe Rogan talks about with the On It? I want to try it, but not sure about having bad dreams and shit. By the way, my offer stands. Dennis, I'm sorry I didn't follow up on that. Dennis, can I ask you one more time today? Can you just send me an email to support at thedolcediet.com? I'm so sorry. I actually looked for your email and couldn't find it last week. So please send me an email. We'll follow up with that. Thank you. Now, I don't know exactly what you're talking about with regards to the Rogan dreams. I think he spoke about lucid dreaming at some point with the alpha brain, which I've experienced also, and many others. But I don't know for sure, so I can't comment. Um, Wally, hey Mike, I love listening to you. You're an awesome mentor to all of us. Can you please give me your thoughts of about delayed onset muscle soreness and what to do? Well, Wally, I appreciate that. Thank you. I am here. I'm one of you. This is a big round table that we're all sitting at right now. I just so happen to have the microphone at the moment, and I'm sharing as much actionable information as I can with you from the experience of being one of the world's most sought after coaches, working with an elite list of world class champion athletes, Olympic athletes, professional athletes, Hollywood celebrities, heads of state. We have that experience and we've seen more than most, right? So we've seen and tracked the results. We understand how this works and how it can be modified for each person, or really how it should not be modified for best results. So when I sit down and when I talk to you guys, I'm just trying to share with you the most honest, efficient, actionable information possible. That's all this is. So it's an honor that I get to sit down and speak with all you guys and share this message and then see you guys implement some of this into your own life if it's through nothing else other than education. I might say something or bring something to your attention that you find interesting, that you disagree with, that you want to try or learn more about. You do your own research and you make it yours. That's our goal. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing what I do. Damien, hey Mike, what's a good brand for nut butters? Just got the college diet guide, hoping to change my nutrition lifestyle. I would go to onnit.com/dolce and get the trilogy butter. That's my favorite nut butter. It's cashews, walnuts, and almonds all mixed together. It's it's amazing. It's so delicious and it's versatile. You can put it on anything. It's awesome. I really enjoy it. Daniel Casella, what's your take on water fasting? I've seen it floating around on the internet recently. Basically, no food, just water for 3-day maximum. 40. Do you have any info on it? Oh, Daniel, I think it's stupid. I think it's the most fucking stupid, ridiculous part of the process that I spoke about years ago. And I speak about it every year and every time I talk. So, are you ready? All right, fitness world, here we go. Uncle Mike is going to break it down once again. Here's what happens in the world of health and fitness. The companies out there are always looking for points of differentiation so they can sell you something. They want to sell you something that makes them money, but they can only sell you something if it's different from what's already being sold. So what do? They come out and say, "Hey, the paleo diet is awesome. You can follow the paleo diet if you buy the paleo diet program or all the paleo diet products, because you really should follow the paleo diet because the paleo diet is different from the diet you're following right now or should be following right now. The paleo diet is different. How is it different? Well, in the paleo diet, we exclude all these vital nutrients that you're eating and probably should be eating, but we exclude them so we can fit you into this box. Once we can put you into this box, we have differentiated ourselves. We've made ourselves different because you can't eat grains on the paleo diet. You can't eat oats on the paleo diet. It's different. You have to eat off of our list, our special products, and you have to buy our books because now you need to know how to follow the paleo diet. It's the paleo diet. We're different. And then people go on the paleo diet and they have mixed results and then they stop because it's not sustainable long term. It was just a point of differentiation from what actually works. So there's what's actually works, and we'll circle back to that. But the paleo diet was different. So the paleo diet eventually morphs into the keto diet. The ketogenic diet is very much a Paleolithic diet, except they differentiate themselves even further by saying, you know what? Instead of reducing grains and some fruits, we're going to reduce all carbohydrates. Yeah, that's it. All carbohydrates. Because you guys really love to eat meat. You really love to eat bacon. You really love to eat cheese. You really love to eat fats. So we're going to let you eat all those fats. We're going to tell you you can still eat all your favorite fats. But now you have to take less carbohydrates. And that way, you'll be following the ketogenic diet because it's the keto diet. The keto diet is different from the paleo diet. It's very similar to the paleo diet, but it's different because now in the ketogenic diet, you have to eat less. And because you're eating less again, you're probably going to have to buy this list of exogenous supplements to fill in the deficiencies that you've created from eating less food, less more less food. So you went from eating the right amount of food with the optimal diet to the less amount of food with the Paleolithic diet to the even more less amount of food with the ketogenic diet, because now it's the ketogenic diet and the paleo diet. And many people from the paleo diet jumped into the ketogenic diet. They told you the Paleolithic diet was the most successful, important diet ever in the history of the world, until the market window crashed. And then they said, the ketogenic diet is the most successful, best ever diet ever in the world. And they're riding that wave. But that wave is now crashing like the paleo wave crashed. So what happens? So then we get the advent of more or less again. Now it's the time restricted diet. Now we just have to eat less food in less amount of time. Instead of eating over the course of a day from breakfast through dinner, you can't do that because that'll make you fat. That'll give you cancer. That'll force you to have seizures. You can't eat that. You can't eat sugar. You can't eat blueberries. You can't have apples. You can't have grains. You can't have all that stuff because now we're fasting. We're fasting now. So, okay, let's say you're following a ketogenic diet, ketogenic type diet. You've stripped all the carbohydrates out of the diet because carbs are bad and they'll probably kill you, says the ketogenic diet, because that's a great point of differentiation. Scare tactics works extremely well. Time restricted. Now, the time restricted is even better because it's even more exclusionary. It's in a shorter period of time. And they go time restricted, 12 hours fueling, 12 hours fasting. And well, that's not enough. 10 hours fueling, 14 hours fasted. Well, that's not enough. 8 hours fueling, 16 hours fasting. That's not enough. 4 hours fueling, 20 hours fasting. That's not enough. One meal, 23 hours fasting, 1 hour fueling. That's not enough. Ketogenic diet to no food diet. No food diet. All right, we took the calories as low as we can, but guess what? People still aren't losing the weight that they want to lose. They're still not seeing the results that they wanted to see, that they didn't see with the Paleolithic diet. They didn't see with the ketogenic diet. They didn't see with the time restricted diet. So now what are they going to do? Now they're going to take in literally 0 calories from 0 food sources because they stripped it down and stripped it down and stripped it down to now it's the quote water fast. You're only going to consume water for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. So this is the marriage of the evolution of the exclusionary diets, but also the time restricted fasting windows. It's just been these waves that have just kept floating in and crashing onto the shore. But now the faux fitness frauds out there are selling this to you to try and monetize you in some other way, shape, or form, or simply to roll you into their funnel. And that's very much what a lot of they do. They roll you into these funnels, these marketing funnels, and they categorize you by what you click on, what you read, and what hashtags they can throw at you. Right? Keto's a hashtag. Almost nearly everybody following the ketogenic diet has never been in ketosis. They had never been in ketosis. They haven't even fucking tracked it, but they quote claim to be keto. So to answer your question, and where was the question? Nut butters with the water fast, Daniels. This all comes from the water fast. That's what the water fast is. It was just simply that progression. And what's going to happen now? It's good. We're kind of towards the end. There might be another 12 to 24 months, 18 or so months of this crazy fasted, and there's going to be a big bounce. All of a sudden, carbohydrates are going to get more popular again. The high fat community is going to start to crumble. Those in the high fat community will then jump ship and they'll start selling something else because they've lost their audience. They've lost their widget. They can't sell their widget anymore. So they'll jump back into a different category and usually a more well-rounded. It might be a version of a macro template that might be popular in the more bodybuilding worlds, fitness, physique type of world, which is very influential. But it'll be a much more carbohydrate diverse meal plan. That's about probably 24 or so months away. And you'll start to hear little pieces about that as it goes, which is so funny. So, which is why we do what we do, and we do the same thing we've always done, and we'll continue to. Which is why we are one of the most successful, most reputable, most in-demand health and fitness companies on the planet, chosen by world-class athletes and Hollywood celebrities because our system works and there's no bullshit. The biggest criticism on our system is it's so simple. Dolce's not doing anything new. It's so simple. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly it. And nobody has our results. We have a 100% success ratio while working with the world's greatest athletes in weight class dominated sports for over 20 years. There's a reason. There's a reason. We just keep perfecting and evolving the proven system of what actually works. And I'll let you know right now. I'll tell you what it is. How about that? We eat real food in great variety. Step one, if you only eat real food, only earth grown nutrients in wide variety, minimally processed, as close to the point of origin as consumed as close to the point of origin as possible, minimally processed, minimally prepared, not tampered with at all, non-synthetic, non-GMO, non-poisoned. If you only eat real food, you're good. Step one. Step two, now we're going to get even more. That's like 80%. If you only eat real food and don't pay attention to a calorie or a macro, your body will self-regulate as long as you're not a dickhead. Your body will self-regulate. If you only eat real food, and most of you don't even understand what I'm talking about because most of you have never only ate real food for a few days, weeks, months, or years to understand how truly satisfying and life enhancing it is. This is all I do. This is what we do. I feel amazing, and I guarantee I eat better than you, so much better than you. Every one of my meals is a gourmet meal. Every one of my fucking meals is a gourmet meal for pennies on the dollar. And I feel way better, healthier, fitter, stronger, faster, better blood work. Everything improves and gets better simply because of this. So if we only eat real food, number one, Dolce diet principle number one. Number two, we only eat real food every 2 to 4 hours based upon activity. Are we repairing, replenishing damage that we had just done? And what do we need to pre-fuel for what we're about to do? Every 2 to 4 hours. We're eating every 2 to 4 hours. We're eating real food every 2 to 4 hours based upon activity. Do I need more carbohydrate dense food right now to maybe replace the glycogen that I expended during the last 2 to 4 hours? Am I putting that back in? Do I need a greater level of amino acid structures to repair damage to muscle tissue and essential fats? Do I need more of that right now? What am I about to do? Am I going on a 10-mile run over the next 2 to 4 hours or a 4 hour hike? Am I going to lay on my couch and watch the football game? What do I need to eat now? So now we're being intentional, we're being mindful, we're eating real food every 2 to 4 hours based upon activity. Number three is we eat until we're satisfied, not until we're full. What does that mean? That means at any given moment, I can push myself away from the table and go for a light jog. I can have vigorous consensual intercourse if I choose to and feel amazing the entire time. The point is, I can be healthy. I can be active. I can get up and move immediately because I've eaten until satisfied, not until full. I'm not like, oh, Jesus, I need to sit here. Oh, man, I ate too much. Never, never, never. We're not clogging up our digestive system. We're maintaining an efficient digestive environment, thereby reducing disruption and inflammation, malabsorption of the nutrients that we're consuming. But we're only consuming earthborn nutrients, which have a much higher uptake rate than the synthetic chemicals and processed foods that most of you eat. Even if it's just a little bit, it completely alters your digestive environment. We don't do that. So we eat real food every 2 to 4 hours based upon activity until we're satisfied, not until we're full. And the Dolce diet principle number four is we do it every meal, every day, period, the end, boom, done. Now we can go a little bit deeper down. We have a 10-step system, if you will, and that also covers rest, recuperation, optimal sleeping, and techniques to employ, stress management, which was very important. Stress hormones, the best diet and exercise program in the world will be completely can be completely offset by stress. And you've been there. So of course, any good nutrition system, diet system, fitness system, lifestyle system, athletic system will spend an equal amount of time speaking about rest, recuperation, and stress management. Very important. And then also training stimuli. We go over that also. This is our system. And people are like, oh, shit, Dolce doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't do anything new. No, we don't do what's new. We do what's best. We do what's best. And I don't know of anybody who does any of it better than we do. Some do it as well. Some do it as well in certain categories. We do it as good as anybody and better than most. And ours is the only team with a 100% success ratio working with the world's greatest athletes for 20 years. And I say that because it's important to know. So when we're speaking from that point of authority. And I speak like this to you guys to share this information with you guys. And some of you will retain this. Many of you will not. A few of you will poo-poo it and hate on me and troll me for it. And that's okay. And hopefully you listen long enough until it starts to make sense and you start to buy into some of it, at least enough to do your own research and then make it your own so you can once again become intentional and mindful. And you'll hear me use those words and those terms many times when I speak. We must be intentional with our actions. We must be mindful of our choices. We must take full responsibility and accountability for everything we do. So your nutrition, your health, your fitness is representative of you as a human, as a person. It becomes that easy. So I hope that was helpful, Daniel. And I appreciate the opportunity to rant on that a little bit for you. Landon, any opinions on ashwagandha? I don't because I've never tried it and I haven't really researched it, so I don't have a good knowledge base on it. My apologies. Joey, what's up, coach? Yo, Mike, I'll be in Vegas next month. I'll be stopping by. I sent an email to Bob last week about my current situation. Joey, awesome, bro. Looking forward to it, my friend. Come on out. Let's train. Anthony Glaze, it was for Eskimo Indian Olympics here in Alaska. Check it out. Right on, Anthony. That's awesome, my friend. Damien, pretty sure Rogan was talking about having visceral nightmares he was having when taking a month off from smoking weed. That's interesting. I don't know enough about that, but it'd be interesting to hear some of his stories. Wally, hey, Mike, sorry. I think you forgot to answer my question about DOMS and what to do about it. I did. But if you can, it's all good. There's tons of questions here. Anyway, I'll ask again another state. No way, Wally. I try and answer every single question as they come up. That's my goal. I give myself an hour to do this. I only try and rant for about the first 8 or 10 minutes or so to give you the topic. And today it was the entitled fighter story, which was a really good one. If you're just jumping in now, go back and listen to the first 10 minutes. If you're listening now, give me a thumbs up, please. I appreciate it, guys. The thumbs up lets me know you're there and you actually care about the shit that I'm talking about. But hopefully, it lets YouTube know that you're engaged with us and you're actually communicating back and forth. I appreciate that. But now to answer Wally's question, delayed onset muscle soreness. DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness, is usually considered to be a good thing in that it is representative of the appropriate type of damage incurred as a result of training. And that's what I'm assuming you mean. DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness, as it relates to strength training. And there is a certain level of soreness to a muscle that has been worked properly. That should be expected. DOMS typically takes place 48 hours or so after the workout. The first 24 hours, they say, if you're sore 12 hours after a workout, you probably have an injury. Within the first 24 hours, you want to be careful. In the 36 or so hour range, it's most likely DOMS. And this is a little more anecdotal. There is good supportive science that leans towards these windows, but it's anecdotal nonetheless. That being said, I don't mind having a little bit of soreness every couple days, but the soreness, the more advanced you are, the more consistent you are, the soreness dissipates. So I could have a crazy deadlift kettlebell chin workout, and a certain area of the muscle might get super sore because I haven't done that specific movement, but I'm pretty much good to go. My body, my legs, my hips, my calves are good. If I don't deadlift in 3 months, 6 months, and swing kettlebells in 3 months, 6 months, and I go and train with 30% of the weight I might do today, I'm going to be fucked for a week or two. So we have to keep that in mind. Now, I didn't, I probably didn't injure myself during that workout, but it's the damage incurred and the lack of efficiency in the body responding to that damage through DOMS. It's something to be aware of. We don't want to be too sore, and chasing that soreness is not a good thing. I know some people, some athletes who think that being sore is the only predicator of a good workout, and that's not true at all. Damien, hey Mike, I use my fitness pal to track my food and it says calories, carbs, fat, protein, sodium, sugar. Um, I'm here to ask what you recommend to consume, like more carbs or fat. Excuse me, as I caffeinate. Big thanks to my friends at the Juice Standard. Boom, hooking it up. Coffee is delicious. My goodness. And we actually did a podcast recently with Marcella Johnson, who is the owner of the Juice Standard here in Las Vegas. I believe they have 4 locations now from just one 3 or so years ago. So it's a good entrepreneurial franchise story, as well as talking about cold pressed juices. That's on the Mike Dolce Show podcast. For those listening on YouTube right now, you should be subscribing. And those on the Mike Dolce Show podcast listening, you guys should be subscribing to YouTube with the notifications flipped on. But you want to know calories, carbs, fats, protein, sugar, sodium. That's not really what we do. And that's not what I do here. That's not what I care to do right now. That's a lot of homework you're asking me to do. What you can do is there's 2 things. And this is why we built the DolceDiet.com, the most sophisticated, the most successful, the healthiest online weight loss program ever devised. That is at the DolceDiet.com. We have a 4-week plan and a 12-week plan. It is a personal meal plan and exercise program supported by leaderboards and forums and predictive avatars and weekly weigh-ins and resource sections with 200 additional recipes and 200 additional exercises to substitute and plug and play into your system. So that would be my strong suggestion to you, thedolcediet.com, unless you wanted to work one-on-one with one of our registered dietitians who can then build you your specific plan. You can do that also. But it's easier and much more cost effective to just go to thedolcediet.com, sign up for the 4-week or the 12-week plan and start there. Go now and do it. If you want to know, if you want to make traction, that's where to go. That's how to do it. And then we go from there. Higgy, what's up, Higgy? Viewing, I ate 130 carbs so far today. Stop being scared, homie. That's right. Don't be scared, homie. My breakfast bowl is typically about 100 grams of carbohydrates in breakfast alone. I'm a fucking savage. What are your thoughts on vinegar? I like vinegar. Would you eat That was from Fred Rod. Well, Jeweed, what's up, coach? Joining late today. Did straight eights again. Won't be able to walk tomorrow. Fuck yeah, I love it. Sal and Jeweed's talking about one of our programs we call the Straight Eights, which is an awesome strength building, muscle building program. Sal, Mike Dolce, I just love you guys. How to skinny fat, bulk or cut maintenance? I don't know. Please ask that question again. I'm sorry, it's hard to read. Jeweed, I asked for a good rant yesterday and you delivered. Nice. Yeah, it was a good one, right? I love it. I love it. Um, Dolce Alvarez says, Dolce, great videos. Give us a workout of the day. You're damn right I should. I got a whole fucking facility out there. Why am I not giving you guys exercise videos? Probably because I'm sitting in my chair sipping on coffee. I may or may not be experimenting with recreational THC and CBDs. I may or may not be. I don't know. I don't know. So white rice over brown rice. Yes, white rice. Um, bu- bu- bum. Daniel, thank you for your reply and time. Much appreciated. I've been following your principles and feeling good, simple, and effective. Worlds constantly trying to fill minds and bodies with shit. I know, man. We just talk about what the human body needs, right? That's it. Earth grown nutrients have sustained all of life on this planet since the dawn of time. Why the fuck are these idiots trying to make it so complex? Oh, I know, point of differentiation, so they can keep selling you and reselling you products. That's what it is. You need to step back and understand that and then just start doing what your body needs, right? Just eating real food in wide variety, non-synthetic, non-processed, exercise intelligently, don't overdo it, but be consistent. Get a good night of sleep every single night. Minimize stress, manage stress, work on stress, remove external stressors from your life, smile brightly, love deeply. Like that's what we talk about here. We don't talk about fucking protein and carb ratios and all that nonsense, which is so fleeting and it doesn't do anything to help people. Doesn't do anything to help people. Paul says, on its bio gut cleansing, is that pulling vitamins in the gut or is it removing through the bowel movements? I'm really curious. Paul, I don't know. I'd actually have to do my due diligence and go take a look. I'm not sure. Is that a program they put out, an article, or is that one of their supplements? I'm not sure. We really focus more on the food side of the on it supplements, like that Trilogy nut butter is awesome. The Dolce approved whey isolate enhanced with probiotics is getting good reviews from some people. Um, Dean James, full birthday cake post workout, bro. Bro, I would eat some fiber dense foods. I would keep it super lean and green. Only clean food, lots of water. I would personally probably take a little extra psyllium husk. I'd probably take a tablespoon, spread throughout the day 3 times, early, afternoon, and evening. Um, Water, and I'd walk. I get lots of good walks. Man, that's gross, homie. That's gross, homie. You straight poisoned yourself, right? Full birthday cake, you straight poisoned yourself. My goodness. Mark, keep dropping the most real knowledge around. Damn straight, I am the most honest man in fitness, and that is the truth. The most transparent, the most straightforward. I tell you like it is, what it is, like it or hate it. I'm telling you the truth. This is the truth as I see it, as my team sees it, as we've found and proven many times. This is the truth. That's it. So I'm not going to be selling you some exogenous fucking keto power, though I'd make a shit ton of money doing it, right? I'm not going to sell you some bullshit macro fucking program, though I'd make a shit ton of money doing it if I chose to. I'm not going to sell you some sort of bullshit pill, powder, or potion that you don't need because Lord knows I'd make a shit ton of fucking money if I did it. I'm not doing that. All we're going to do, and which is why we're here 20 plus years later, while we're still here, while I'm still sitting on this throne as one of the most sought after coaches in sports. Sports Illustrated said that. Mike Dolce is one of the most sought after coaches in sport. And that's even more true year after year after year, right? We're as busy as we want to be. And it's a beautiful thing. And I'm still here talking to you guys, still in demand because the information we keep giving you is honest and straightforward and trustworthy. And we have 100% success with our results. That's why. And so the things that I say, like anybody who says, Dolce doesn't know what he's talking about. Well, explain that, please. No, don't just give an opinion. Explain how our system doesn't work. Explain what's wrong with it. And I've never heard anyone explain what's wrong with it. They just make these personal attacks on me. Is it because I don't wear a lab coat and I'm fucking buff as shit and yoked? Is that why? Is that why? Is that why? Um, Keep dropping knowledge. Steve says, "Hey, coach, damn. You know what I love about our facility? Our facility, when I look out the window of my facility, I want to see Range Rovers. I want to see Porsches. I want to see big boy and big girl cars rolling up. And I do. And that's fucking awesome. That's what I want to see, and that's important. That's what's rolling in here right now. Shit's about to pop off. We're getting a little training going on in here. Coach Aram's about to run a sixth session, and those are the cars that are rolling up for this sixth session. People that can go any fucking where they want. They can bring the best to their home if they want to, or showing up here at Dolce Fitness to get fucking work in, to put work in. Train like an athlete's our motto. That's cool. Um, Steve, hey coach, thanks for all the info. Quick question. When doing the 99 curls, is it one set of 99 or 33, meaning that you're doing all three types of curls 33 times? Yeah, so it's 33 from the bottom, 33 from the top, and then 33 straight through. Different people will focus on different areas and change the order, but that's essentially what it is, 99 total. Mr. Khan, what's your take on rice cakes? And do you think it's okay to drink alcohol free beer from time to time? I don't know the ingredients of alcohol free beer. I'd likely say no, just because that's a rather heavily processed product. And rice cakes, I have no problem with some rice cakes, knowing that the only reason we're eating rice cakes is because we need glycogen. We need those carbohydrates. We're looking to efficiently store glycogen. Rice cakes are good post weigh-in. Rice cakes are good intra workout or intra competition. CrossFit competitors and wrestlers and gymnasts having rice cakes with some ripe bananas, smeared with ripe banana or drizzled with some raw honey, possibly maybe to slow digestion a little bit with some almond butter on top. So yeah, I like rice cakes, but we have rice cakes in my house, and we'll get a new one. We'll throw out the old one, and we'll get a new one nearly every month, and we don't even come close to eating half the bag. If I'm on the road though and traveling in the middle of fight camp, shit, I might go through one or two a day. That's true. That's why we say we eat based upon activity every 2 to 4 hours. What did I just do? What am I about to do? Get a little flex on for you. Got to get more HD cameras so you can see what I'm seeing. Boom, boom. Um, hey, coach, do you have a book on how to bulk up nutrition and exercise? Sufiane, we do have one coming out. It's called the Squats and Steak Program. This will be a digital download. We are only going to put out 500 copies of the Squats and Steak Program. 500 copies, and that is it. We are going to have a pre registration for the Squats and Steak Program. The Squats and Steak program will teach you how to add 20 pounds of muscle and 200 pounds to your back squat in 12 weeks. The Squats and Steak program will be one of the most successful strength and muscle gaining programs you've ever attempted, but it will also be one of the most difficult. I predict a greater than 50% drop off rate, meaning at least 50% of the people who attempt it will not finish it simply because it's so rigorous. I went through it twice, and it took every ounce of my mental fortitude to push through the workout. About week 6 is when the weights start to catch up to you. About week 6 is where it starts, because it's a program. It's a built custom percentage based program that's fucking awesome. It's awesome. And I would have anxiety as when I was fighting. Like I would like walking into a Shark Tank day, 2 weeks out from a fight, and I gotta fight 5 guys 1 minute each for 5 rounds. That's what some athletes do. I would never do that again if I was still fighting, or I don't suggest it for any athlete who is fighting. But early 10 years or so ago, that's what was done. That was the same anxiety I would feel before my next workout. And I get that workout done, I'd be like, oh my God, thank God. And you get a full day off in between. But then the end of that night, you're like, oh shit, 4 o'clock tomorrow. Fuck. Squats and Steak program. That's coming soon. You're going to hear more information about it soon, and when to pre-order. We're going to likely open it up to, we're going to put it to our mailing address or a mailing list. You can go to the dolcediet.com at the very bottom. Just make sure you're a member of our newsletter. Just put it in there. We don't bother you guys. It's really 1 or 2 emails a month. If you want to use it, great. If not, there's usable content, but it's to help you guys. But this is where about stuff like this. I'll also put it out here for you guys, but we're only going to put 500 of them out. knowing that the first 500 people, they will be tailored to a degree, meaning that you'll have more ranges. It won't just be a flat template program. We want to make sure that it's personalized as much as possible. Um, but with that many people, that many programs, we can't completely, but we don't need to, because it's more of a mathematical calculation, and we break out all that math for you, and the meal plan, because it's not just the exercise. What other program does this? We give you the exercise of 12 weeks, but we also give you the nutrition for 12 weeks. And this is a muscle gaining, strength gaining program. This is a fucking as hardcore as it gets, program. So to answer your question, but we got, that's a little bit of time away. That'll be in time for bulk up season, September. That'll be available. So we got another 6 or 8 weeks before that's even a glimmer in our eye. And right now, what you should be doing is you should be at thedolcediet.com, getting that body right and tight and lean and ready to go and functional and muscular, following the meal plans now that we have at thedolcediet.com to keep getting leaner, to have your peak on Labor Day, finish summer fucking strong and ripped. Most people peak on July 4th, and then they just turn into fat slobs through the rest of the summer. Like, well, I mean, winter's coming, it's July 20th, but August is almost here. And once August comes, then it's September, and then it's sweater season. So therefore, I can be fat in July. So that's not a good look. How to fix being skinny fat? Add muscle, man. Add muscle, man. That's how you fix skinny fat. You add fucking muscle. Add muscle. Do you recommend a green tea product? We recommend fresh brewed green tea from a high quality retailer. That's what we recommend. That's what I drink. We don't suggest green tea supplements. Damien, what do you think of Faraz Sahabi's recent assertion on soreness? He said that the volume of training that you can have by never having a workout that causes soreness is much more effective. I don't. I would have to have the conversation for us, and next time I see him, we certainly will. That being said, I don't think his statement is in context to the way that it's being reported, because we spoke about DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. It is to be expected. Too sore though, and this is what I did say. So I support much of what Coach the Hobby is saying, but I don't think his statement is fully in context here, so I can't elaborate. Damien, than having fewer workouts do you need to recover from during the week? Well, I don't know the first part of that question. Hard to read, my friend. Blimey, I haven't worked out in years. How do I start? I do notice that my legs are relatively weak. Or go to thedolcediet.com right now. Go to thedolcediet.com right now. Join the 12-week membership plan, the personalized diet and exercise program. You put in your specific information so we know exactly the program that you need. You haven't worked out in a while, whatever your body mass is, what your goals are, what your job is, what your plans in the future, what you're trying to achieve over the next 12 weeks. All that information goes into the system, and you receive the most perfect diet and exercise program for you. Completely detailed for you. Everything you need is there. Every ingredient, every recipe, every exercise, every set, every rep is there for you. That's what you need to do. That's what you need. So you're either going to do it or you're not going to do it. And that's every, you're going to do it or you're not going to do it. You're going to step forward and fucking do it for the first time. And we have the plan for you. We have the treasure map, or you're not going to do it. You're just going to kind of sit around and go through another day and eat the kind of shitty shit that you did yesterday and say, well, tomorrow I'm going to do it better. Or next meal, I'm going to do it better. Tomorrow, I'm going to do better. And then tomorrow comes because today is tomorrow and you're not doing it better. So you have the opportunity to do better. Do better right now. Right now. Do better. You can do better right now. All of us. Jason, had my first doctor appointment today. Thanks to you. I am getting blood work done. Thank you. Thank you, Jason. You just made my day, my friend. Every day I try and tell you guys, go see your doctor. You should see your doctor every 3 months. You should get a wellness test done, a comprehensive blood exam done every 3 months, never less than every 6 months. You should have a regular first name relationship with your doctor because they see you 4 times a year. Mike, how you doing? Doing great, Fred. How are you? How the family? How was vacation? Last time we spoke, you were about to go there. Cool, cool, cool. How am I looking? Everything's perfect. You're in range. Everything is awesome. Glad to see we got ahead of that vitamin D thing from last time. We were getting low normal. You're right back up in mid. Looks perfect. Awesome. See you in 3 months, Doc. High five. Bye. That quick. You should be doing that. Jason's now doing that. That's what I love. You know more about your cell phone, your laptop, your iPad, your car than you do about your body. You pay more attention to that than your body. I can go get a new car right now, new laptop right now, new phone right now. But if something happens to me, to you, then what? Fucked. Stay on top of it. Proud of you, Jason. Roman, this dude was asking me in the gym how I stay lean. I'm trying to tell him, um, Talk to him about carbs. He said 4 to 500 grams, and his mouth dropped. He's on keto and sucking. Oh, so Roman's eating 4 to 500 grams of carbs per day, which I believe. And he's staying fucking lean. And this dude on keto is dying and not losing weight at all, and that is very normal. I actually go up to about 350 or so. I'm assuming you're a little bigger than I am, or maybe considerably bigger. But at about 200 or so pounds, I'll go up to a 300, 350. Never do I go below 150. Maybe once or twice a month. I'll do a modified fast. That's usually after a refeed day, but that would be about it. So good to see. Danny, Danny, what's up, coach? The hardest thing for me is to not overlift. I'm 43, and all this real food is making me strong. Amen, my brother. Amen. I know what you mean. I got to do the same thing. That's why I've been spending more time on mobility work. It allows me to stay in the gym a little longer, and I purge the demons in my head with that time under tension mentality, but I'm not doing continued damage. Soufiane, what are you drinking, coach? I am drinking a straight Americano, 2 shots of espresso, and purified water. This is alkaline water because I got it from the Juice Standard on Tropicana and Fort Apache in Las Vegas, and they are awesome. But for skinny fat, would you recommend a bulk or a cut? Um, I would recommend, Sal, you go to the dolcediet.com right now, join the 12-week program. I don't want to like keep saying this, but this is the answer for you. That's the goal. Start with the 8-week living lean program. It's a recomposition program. You don't have to bulk or cut. You can actually do both. You can add lean functional muscle tissue while lowering total body fat percentage. You're not so much trying to quote get shredded, nor are you trying to completely bulk and add that 20 pounds on the living lean program. The living lean program, we're trying to add more lean, healthy, functional muscle while losing that blurry body fat that we don't want on our hips and on our belly and on our lower chest and tricep back flab and kind of bloated face. We're getting rid of all that slop. So increasing lean muscle tissue, lowering total body fat percentage. And what happens? Your body fat percentage will drop. Lean muscle tissue goes up. You'll feel better. You'll look better. Likely you'll become a much healthier, more energized version of yourself. That is at thedolcediet.com. That's the 12-week program. Start with the 8 weeks of living lean and then finish the last 4 weeks of the 3 weeks to shredded program. And then you can dip right back up. So you just get fucking nice and scraped out, look awesome. Boom, you hit that little mini cut of 3 weeks to shredded. 8 weeks from now, you get everything nice and tight, and then you hit another 8-week recomp program. By Christmas, holy shit, you'll be summer ready by Christmas. That's the goal. Um, Elijah, what do you think about Phil Daru? I think Phil's awesome, man. I really like watching his Instagram channel. I've never spoken with him, so I don't know him personally, and I've never seen his programs. But I do like the intensity that he shows. I like seeing a lot of the movements that his athletes are doing. I don't know how they fit into a greater program, but I have my own thoughts because I believe Phil and I, we both have a similar outlook in many ways on periodization and Western periodization and linear periodization and conjugate methodology and undulating periodization. I think we all know how that works and fits into progressive MMA schedules with such athletes. I do see a lot of core work and explosivity. I see metabolic conditioning done through. I see good mobility work changed there, brought in there, even reactive drills. So I would say, from a 30,000 foot perspective, I think Phil's awesome. He'd be fun to get on the podcast too. Actually, I should reach out to him. Hawk, hey Mike, remember I said I wasn't losing pounds, just inches off my body. I'm now 3 pounds lighter already. Can't wait for the rest day on Sunday. What tips to help aching joints after lots of training? I like cold water immersion, cold showers, cold baths. That's one of my favorites. So Hawk is actually following the DolceDiet.com's program, and he's like, hey, like I haven't lost weight in the last week or so, but I'm down 8 inches. 8 inches. Is that a good thing? I said, fuck yeah, that's a great thing. That means your body is changing. You're adding lean muscle tissue. You're losing inches off. Just think about that. 8 inches off your waist. Not that it was probably hips and thighs and chest and things like that. But all that non-functional weight's disappearing and his weight is staying static, which means we're sustaining, but likely building some lean muscle tissue. Now here he is, not even a week later, and he's down another 3 pounds like that because the body does not change in a straight line method. The body changes in steps. Lose a little weight, maintain, 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 boom. Lose a little weight, maintain, maintain, boom. That's the way it should be. And so I'm super happy for you. Wally just did my blood test. Awesome, Wally. Thank you. Roman Graham. What's up, my man? Paul Thompson. You're all out of your gut health at On It. Um, Thanks, Paul. Zach, any tips for preventing knee pain when doing squats? I would suggest you work with a physical therapist and get an evaluation. That would be the best case scenario. We always suggest hands on practitioners. What do you think about Subway? Find it good? I think you're funny. Subway's gross. Coach, how can I use the treadmill to improve my jujitsu cardio? We have a fighter's treadmill workout, which is awesome. It's just kind of escalating intensities. Just think about hit high intensity intervals. You should be good to go. Hot dog. I'm boxing 5 days a week. Shall I have 2 light days and 3 intense days? Yeah, I might even do 2 intense and 3 light, or maybe I would do just kind of. I don't know your level, so it'd be hard to say, but there's a bunch of different things. Yeah, start there. Start even. Start 50-50. Hawk is now a total of 11 and a half inches off his body, following the DolceDiet.com. Come on now. The results just keep coming. Paul, how much steak should you eat in one meal? How many ounces? I eat 4 ounces of steak or animal protein in a given meal. If I'm eating animal protein, I eat 4 ounces. Bicep of truth right there. What do I need any more for? I'm 200 pounds or so, 198 to 202, depending on the morning, depending on sodium levels. So 200 pounds. I eat 4 ounces at a time. 4 ounces of protein is 20 to 30 grams. I get another 15 to 30 grams of plant based protein on my plate. I'm eating 40 to 50 grams of protein every meal. Why do I need 6, 8, 10, 12 ounces of steak at a single meal? I absolutely do not. It makes no sense. Makes no sense. I mean, it's vegetables and chicken. Why is it gross? I'm sorry. I don't know. So if your questions aren't all together, guys, there's so many questions. I see so many and I answer so many. I can't go back and listen and find where your last post was and then stroll or add a dot 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 together. Um, so sorry. How much weight do you think DC gets to cut or cuts to get to 205? Probably about 40 pounds. I think he walks around 240 or so is what I think he said. Paul, you're for your new protein coming out, are you going to add any added sugars? Obviously, not real sugars. What are you going to make it sweet? You'll see. Haha, the Dolce Whey Pro, the most delicious cold processed cross flow microfilter whey protein isolate on the market coming soon. Coach, can you send me your supplements to Argentina? I don't know. Go to onnit.com/Dolce. You'll see some Dolce approved supplements there. As far as our Whey Protein Pro, when it comes out, the Dolce Whey Pro, when it comes out, we'll see. I don't know what the regulations are yet. We're really focused right now on just domestic USA to get it up and running. And we're not trying to be a supplement company, but there was a massive void in the market. And I was sick of not being able to take a quality whey protein isolate when I wanted it with the exact specifications that I want and need. This is a zero carbohydrate, cold processed cross flow whey protein isolate from grass fed cows, which is very important. It's non GMO. It's no artificial anything. It's as straightforward and basic as you can get. That's all I want. I just want the damn amino acids. That's all I want. It's all I want is the amino acids. That's all I want. I don't want all the other bullshit bells and whistles. I just want the fucking amino acid chains. That's all I want. Right. So that's what it is. Mm. All right, guys and girls, my apologies. I'm way over time. It's an hour and 7 minutes, and I've been doing this for free. Give me a thumbs up if you like what I've been talking about. I appreciate the thumbs up. It lets me know you're there and that you care. If I've said anything that hopefully is interesting or piques your interest or you disagree with, please go and research it on your own. Own the concept, own the topic, make it yours. That's very important. That's what we do here. We're just trying to educate you guys. I tell you so you will actually learn more and then be intentional and mindful. That's the goal here. And I will be back. I will be back until next time. Boom.